What do a strong woman, a morally screwed up scientist, a missing mother, a mysterious sovereign, an ancient explorer, and a child born in the abyss itself have in common? They're all white whistles, the legendary figures who have shaped the world of Made in Abyss. Today, we're diving deep into the stories and uncovering the secrets that bind them all together.
What's up, Abyss fans, and welcome back to the bakery. Today, we're diving into one of the most badass characters in Made in Abyss, Ozen the Immovable, also known as the Unmovable Sovereign. Ozen's not your average explorer. She's got more mysteries than the Abyss itself, and trust me, that's saying something. From her insane strength to her connection with Liza and Rico, Ozen's story is gonna blow your mind. So, buckle up, because we're about to unpack the legend of Ozen the Immovable. Let's talk about Ozen's appearance, because boy, is it something else. First off, she's tall, like really tall. We're talking over 2 meters here, but don't let that slim frame fool you. Ozen's packing some serious muscle. Now, her face and hair, that's where things get weird. Ozen's rocking this crazy black and white hairstyle that makes her look like she should join up with the band Kiss. But here's the creepy part. It's actually hiding a bunch of weird bumps and scars on her scalp. Yep, the Abyss left its mark on her, quite literally. Despite being a white whistle for over 50 years. Yeah, you heard that right. Ozen barely looks a day over 30. Only her white hair gives away her age. Talk about good genes, or maybe something else? Maybe the Abyss is like a spa treatment for her. Where can I sign up? Oh, and her eyes? They're like staring into the Abyss itself. Dark, deep, and kind of terrifying. When Ozen looks at you, it feels like she's seeing right through you. Probably counting how many bones she could break if she wanted to. Her white whistle is pretty cool too. It's got these horns on it, making it look like some kind of cow skull. Creepy, but fitting for somebody like Ozen. I mean, if you're going to be a legendary Abyss explorer, you might as well have a legendary looking whistle, right? And let's not forget her outfit. Ozen's rocking this Dalva gear that's seen better days, but somehow she makes it look intimidating. It's like she's saying, yeah, I've been through hell, and I'm ready for round 2. If you thought Ozen's looks were intense, wait till you hear about her personality. In a nutshell, she's cold. Like Antarctica in winter cold. Ozen can come off as cruel, and doesn't seem to care about anything. There's this one time she was fighting Reg, and just kept hitting him, because she got too into it. Yikes, talk about mental issues. But here's the thing, Ozen hates lying, especially to kids. She'd rather tell you a brutal truth than a comforting lie. In the Abyss, that kind of honesty can save your life. It's like she's the world's scariest life coach. One of Ozen's weirdest traits is how she can control her face, like perfectly. You never know what she's really thinking or feeling. It's like she's wearing a mask 24/7. That must come in handy during a poker night at the Seeker camp. But don't go thinking Ozen's all eyes. Deep down, she's got a soft spot for Liza, Rico's mum, and she looks after her apprentice, Marok, in her own tough love kind of way. It's like she's a cactus, prickly on the outside but still capable of nurturing life. Ozen is like the Abyss itself, harsh, unforgiving, but with hidden depths you'd never expect. She's the kind of person who'd push you off a cliff to teach you how to fly, but she'd probably catch you if you didn't figure it out in time. Probably. Hopefully. Okay, let's dive into Ozen's backstory, because it's more wild than a Crimson Splitjaw on cocaine. So, picture this, a younger Ozen, if you can imagine that, is part of this crazy expedition to the 4th layer. They're after this thing called the Unheard Bell. Sounds like a weird name for a band, right? Anyway, this isn't just any old Dalv. Nope, Liza, you know, Rico's mum, is there too. And get this, she's pregnant. Fast forward through a bunch of death-defying adventures, and baby Rico is born in the depths of the Abyss. But here's where it gets really messed up. Rico's born dead. Yeah, you heard that right. Dead as a doornail. Now, Ozen, being the ray of sunshine she is, gets annoyed at this dead baby for making Liza sad and messing up their mission. So, what does she do? She shoves little dead Rico into this thing called the Curse Warding Box. Probably thought, hey, can't make things worse, right? But then, plot twist, the box starts making noises, and boom, zombie baby Rico is alive. It's like the weirdest magic trick ever. Also, I have so many theories and ideas running through my head about this, especially with the latest chapters talking about certain things, but I don't want to spoil that here right now. I'm going to save that for a later video. After this miracle, or curse, depending on how you look at it, Ozen helps Liza carry the super heavy curse warding box back up to the surface. Talk about a workout from hell. Years later, just before Liza goes on her last dive, Ozen has this deep conversation with her, looking out over Orth, probably thinking, man, we've seen some stuff. Ozen tells Liza about how baby Rico tried to crawl towards the center of the abyss as soon as she was born. Talk about starting your career early. Ozen then makes this promise to Liza. She'll tell Rico the truth about her birth when the time is right. Because nothing says, happy birthday, like, hey, you were actually born dead in a place that wants to kill you. Now let's talk about what makes Ozen a badass in the world of Made in Abyss. First off, her strength is off the charts. We're talking superhuman levels here. It's like she's been hitting the Abyss gym and chugging protein shakes made from the Eternal Fortunes or something. But Ozen isn't just brawn. She's got the brains to match. This lady has been delving in the Abyss for decades, literally decades. She knows more about its layers, creatures and artifacts than probably anyone else alive. It's like she's got a PhD in abyssology, if that were a thing. Her survival skills are top-notch too. Ozen can navigate the Abyss like it's her own backyard, while other delvers are freaking out about corpse weavers. Ozen's probably thinking about what seasoning would go best with them. Oh, and let's not forget her apparent immunity to aging. 50 years as a white whistle, and yet she still looks young enough to be carded at the bar. Either the Abyss has some amazing anti-aging properties, or Ozen has found the fountain of youth down the bottom. But wait, there's more. Ozen's got this weird artifact that lets her bound her body. It's like a power-up in a video game, making her even stronger and tougher, because apparently being able to bench press a small house wasn't enough. All these abilities make Ozen a force to be reckoned with. She's like the Abyss's final boss, except she's kinda on your side? Kinda? Where does Ozen fit in the grand scheme of things in Made in Abyss? First off, she's like the world's scariest mentor figure for Rico and Rake. When they reach her secret camp, Ozen drops some major truth bombs about Rico's birth. It's like she's saying, welcome to the Abyss. You're gonna hate it here. Ozen also puts Rico and Reg through this crazy survival training. It's like Abyss boot camp, but with 100 chance of trauma. But hey, if you can survive Ozen, you can survive anything, right? Despite her harsh methods, Ozen plays a crucial role in preparing our dynamic duo for the horrors that await them deeper in the Abyss. She's like that teacher who makes you hate them, but then when you realize years later that they actually taught you the most important lessons. Plus, Ozen's connection to Liza adds another layer of mystery to her story. What does she know about Liza's disappearance? Is she hiding secrets? These questions keep us on our toes and dying to know more. Ozen the Immovable. She's tough as nails, cold as ice, but with a hidden heart of gold. Maybe more like bronze. But still, she shows us just how the Abyss can change a person for better or worse. As we keep diving into the world of White Whistles, we'll see how each of these legends has been shaped by their time in the pit. But if you think Ozen is intense, just wait until you meet the next White Whistle, Bondrewd the Novel, also known as the Sovereign of Dawn. Fair warning, this guy's story is not for the faint of heart. Bondrewd is the kind of character that makes you question everything you thought you knew about right and wrong. He's a mad scientist, a loving father, and a total monster, all rolled into one. So, grab your whistles and let's descend into the dark world of Bondrewd the Novel. And trust me, this is going to be one wild ride. Let's kick things off with Bondrewd's appearance, because it's just as messed up as he is. First off, he's always decked out in this long black coat that makes him look like some kind of evil wizard. But the real showstopper, that's his helmet. It's pitch black with this creepy violet light shining through a gap in the middle. It's like staring into some alien eye, totally unsettling. I bet he'd win every staring contest in the abyss. Now, get this. Bondrewd's white whistle is shaped like two hands clasped together. Ironic, right? Given how he's not exactly big on teamwork or compassion. Oh, and he doesn't blow it like a normal whistle. He rubs it. Because why would anything be normal about this guy? But here's where it gets really weird. Thanks to some abyss magic, we'll get to that later. Bondrewd isn't just one body. He's got these things called Umbra hands. Basically, a bunch of bodies he can switch between. It's like he's playing a twisted game of musical chairs, but with human bodies. And get this, his original body? Yeah, that's his white whistle now. You know, the claspy hand one? Talk about putting yourself into your work to a whole new level. This bad boy comes equipped with a lizard-like tail courtesy of an artifact called Third Works, because apparently being a body-swapping mad scientist wasn't extra enough. So yeah, Bondrewd's look is just as freaky and unpredictable as the guy himself. It's like he's trying to become one with the abyss, and honestly, he might be succeeding. I mean, if you saw this guy coming at you in the abyss, you'd probably think he was some kind of monster, and you wouldn't be entirely wrong. If you thought Bondrewd's appearance was a trip, wait till you hear about his personality. This guy is more twisted than a pretzel in a tornado. At his core, Bondrewd is driven by one thing: knowledge. He wants to understand the abyss so badly that he's willing to do literally anything to get that understanding. And I mean anything. Kids, expendable. Ethics, optional. His own humanity, on the chopping block. What makes Bondrewd so terrifying isn't that he's some cackling villain who enjoys causing pain. Nah, that'll be too simple. Instead, he sees his horrific experiments as necessary steps towards understanding the abyss in his mind. The end justifies any means, no matter how awful. It's like he's playing a game of cosmic Jenga and he's willing to pull out any block, no matter who it hurts, just to see what happens. But here's where it gets really messed up. Bondrewd can be downright warm and caring sometimes. He genuinely loves his daughter, Prushka. He raises her with affection, teaches her, cares for her, and while planning to use her in his experiments. Talk about complicated father-daughter relationships, huh? It's like he's trying to win Dad of the Year and Mad Scientist of the Century at the same time. Bondrewd's also got this weird sense of honor in battle. He doesn't show any hard feelings to people who fight him, and even praises them if they manage to beat him. It's like he's seen everything, even combat, as just another experiment. Oh, you have obliterated half my body. Fascinating. Let me take some notes. Maybe the creepiest thing about Bondrewd is how he feels about the kids he's sacrificed. He remembers all of their names and seems to feel grateful to them. All in all, Bondrewd's personality is a perfect storm of scientific obsession, moral flexibility, and abyss-induced madness. He's the kind of guy who'd push you into a pit of man-eating monsters and then thank you for your contribution to science. Alright, let's dive into Bondrewd's backstory, and boy, is it a doozy. So, once upon a time in a land far, far away. Probably. Bondrewd was just your average criminal with a bounty on his head. Yeah, he was sketchy before he even got the abyss crazy. But then he discovered delving, and things got really wild. Bondrewd was like, you know what would fund my abyss research really well? Crime. So he started selling drugs from human experiments, illegally trading artifacts. It's like he was trying to speedrun the most wanted list. Then, about 15 years ago, Bondrewd got his hand on this special grade artifact called the Zoaholic. And that's when things got really freaky. This thing let him spread his consciousness across multiple bodies. Suddenly, Bondrewd wasn't just one person, he was a whole crew to himself. Talk about being your own best friend, right? 10 years back, Bondrewd pulled off something incredible. He set up a massive base called Ardofront in the 5th layer of the Abyss. That's deeper than most people can even dream of going. But of course, this crazy achievement came at a price. A price paid in human lives and ethical violations. And when Bondrewd became a White Whistle, he used his own original body as a material for his life reverberating stone. Yep, you heard that right. The guy turned himself into his own White Whistle. Talk about commitment to the job. But the real kicker in Bondrewd's history is his experiments with the Curse of the Abyss. Two of these kids were Nanachi and Mitty, and well, we all know how that turned out. Bondrewd's history is like a roadmap of how to become the Abyss's most brilliant and terrifying researcher. It's a story of genius and madness, of groundbreaking discoveries and unspeakable crimes. In the end, Bondrewd's history shows us how far somebody can go when they decide the rules don't apply to them. Now let's talk about what makes Bondrewd a certified nightmare in the world of Made in Abyss. First off, this guy's brain is off the charts. We're talking genius level intellect here. Bondrewd's understanding of the Abyss and its artifacts is so advanced, it makes other delvers look like they're playing with sandbox toys. But Bondrewd's real superpower? That's the Zoaholic. This special great artifact that lets him transfer his consciousness between multiple bodies. It's like he's playing a twisted game of musical chairs, but with people. Get defeated in one body? No problem, just hop into another one. It's like trying to play whack-a-mole with a human dude. And let's not forget about his collection of artifacts. This guy's got more gadgets than a sci-fi convention. There's the Gangway, which shoots out these light beams that always hit their targets. Then there's the Sporagmos, a weapon that can disintegrate anything it touches. Anything. It's like Bondrewd took a look at Reg's incinerator and thought, neat. And don't get me started on his full body armor, the Canopy onto Dawn. This thing's got more hidden weapons than a Swiss army knife on steroids. Plus, it looks cool because even mad scientists care about fashion, apparently. But the real kicker, that's Bondrewd's cartridges. These things are like his cheat code for the Curse of the Abyss. By using, let's say, ethical, questionable methods, Bondrewd created these cartridges that let him ascend from the deep layers without getting cursed. It's like he's playing the Abyss on easy mode while everybody else is playing stuck on hardcore. All these abilities make Bondrewd a force to be reckoned with. He's like the Abyss's final boss, but instead of guarding treasure, he's after knowledge. And he's willing to go through anyone and anything to get it. So where does our friendly neighborhood mad scientist fit into the grand narrative of Made in Abyss? Well, first off, Bondrewd is like the ultimate, you see what happens when you go too far? Cautionary tale. He's what every delver could become if they let their obsession with the Abyss overtake their humanity. It's like he's standing there saying, hey kids, this is your brain on too much Abyss. Any questions? Bondrewd also serves as the primary antagonist in the Artofront arc. He's the big bad boss that Rico and the gang have to overcome. But here's the twist. He's not evil for the sake of being evil. Nope. He genuinely believes he's doing the right thing. It's like he's playing 4D chess while everybody else is playing checkers, and he's using human lives as the pieces. His experiments, especially the ones involving Nanachi and Mitty, are crucial to the plot. They show us the true horror of the Abyss, and set up some of the most emotional moments in the series. It's like Bondrewd is the author of the Abyss's horror stories, and we're all just living in them. But perhaps the most importantly, Bondrewd represents the moral dilemma at the heart of Made in Abyss. How far is too far in the pursuit of knowledge? At what point does scientific progress become too costly? These are the questions that Bondrewd forces us and the characters to grapple with. Bondrewd shows us the darkest potential of Abyss exploration. He's what happens when curiosity overrides humanity, when the quest for understanding trumps ethics and morality. He's fascinating, terrifying, and weirdly compelling all at once. As we continue our journey through the White Whistles, Bondrewd stands out as a grim warning of what the Abyss can do to a person. He's a reminder that sometimes the real monsters aren't the creatures lurking in the dark. They're the humans that have lost their way. But hold on to your whistles, because we're not done yet. Next time, we're diving into the legend of Liza the Annihilator. How does a fierce warrior balance being a mum and an Abyss explorer? And what makes her disappear into the depths, leaving behind a mystery that kickstarts our whole story? Tune in next time to find out. Trust me, it's going to be more explosive than Bondrewd's lab on a bad day. We're diving into the legend of Liza the Annihilator, also known as the Sovereign of Annihilation. Let me tell you, this lady's not your average soccer mum. Liza isn't just another white whistle. She's a force of nature, a loving mother, and the reason our girl Rico is on her crazy adventure. She's like if Indiana Jones and Wonder Woman had a baby, and then that baby grew up to explore the world's deadliest pit. So grab your gear, because we're about to plunge into the wild life of Liza the Annihilator. Let's kick things off with Liza's appearance, because this lady is a walking contradiction. First off, Liza's tiny, like shorter than most adults, but don't let that fool you. This pint-sized explorer packs a serious punch. She's got this long wavy blonde hair that probably looks great even after fighting abyss monsters. How does she do it? Seriously, is there a salon down there in the abyss we don't know about? Her eyes are big and blue, with these thick eyelashes that make her look almost doll-like. But those eyes, they're always sparkling with this inner fire. It's like you can see her thirst for adventure just by looking at her. I bet she could stare down a crimson split jaw without blinking. Now, Liza's delving outfit is pretty sweet. It's like the usual gear, but in bright red. Talk about making a statement, right? She's not here to blend in. She's here to stand out and kick butt. It's like she's saying, hey, abyss monsters, come and get me if you dare. And get this, she keeps 2 feathers tucked into her helmet. It's like she's saying, yeah, I'm gonna soar through the abyss like it's no big deal. Maybe they're good for luck. Maybe she just likes to accessorize while she's annihilating things. Who knows? But here's the real kicker. Liza's got this charm about her that's hard to resist. She's beautiful, sure, but it's more than that. It's like she's got this aura of excitement and danger around her. You just know that hanging out with Liza means you're in for the adventure of a lifetime. If you survive, that is. Let's not forget her white whistle. The one thing we do know about it is it has that internal fortune on it. So it's definitely got some decoration of things that she likes. Now, if you think Liza's look is cool, wait till you hear about her personality. This lady is like a party and a hurricane rolled into one. According to Jiro, you know, Rico's mentor, Liza is this fiery, in-your-face kind of woman who loves to party, drink, and even get into fights. She's like that friend who's always up for a good time, even if that good time might land you in jail, or you know, the bottom of a pit of death. Liza approaches life with this bring it on attitude. Crazy dangerous abyss monster? Liza's probably wondering if it tastes good with hot sauce. Speaking of which, this lady will eat anything. Her notes are full of recipes for abyss creatures that would make Gordon Ramsay go pale. It's like she's writing a cookbook called 101 Ways to Cook Things That Want to Kill You. But here's the thing, underneath all that wild energy, Liza's got a heart of gold. She cares deeply about the people she loves. She literally says that Rico is more precious to her than any treasure. Aww, right? It's like she's got 2 modes, annihilate everything and world's best mum. The crazy part is, as much as she loves Rico, Liza might love the abyss even more. She's got this childlike wonder about all of the weird and wild stuff down there. It's like the deeper and creepier it gets, the more Liza's into it. Where most people see nightmare fuel, Liza sees Disneyland. This mix of being a loving mum and an adrenaline junkie explorer, that's what makes Liza so fascinating. She's living proof that you don't need to choose between being a badass and having a heart. You can annihilate abyss monsters all day and still be home in time to tuck in your kid. Even if home is a dangerous cave and tucking in involves checking for poisonous spores. And let's not forget her sense of humor. Liza's the kind of gal who can laugh in the face of danger. Probably because she knows she can kick danger's butt if it comes down to it. I bet she's got some killer abyss jokes, like, why did the Crimson Splitjaw cross the road? To get to the other side of my pickaxe. Alright, buckle up, because Liza's backstory is wilder than a Madoka Jack on a sugar rush. Little Liza was born in Orth, right at the edge of the abyss. She grew up in the Balchera orphanage, probably dreaming about the day she could dive into that big old hole in the ground. Fast forward a little bit, and teenage Liza is already making waves. She catches the eye of legendary white whistle Ozen the Immovable. Ozen's like, this kid's got spunk. and takes her under her wing. It's like the world's most terrifying internship. Liza doesn't waste any time. She blazes through the ranks faster than you can say irreversible curse. Black Whistle by her teens, White Whistle as a young adult. It's like she's speed running the Delver career path. But wait, there's more. Liza, being Liza, decides to shake things up. She falls in love with this guy named Talker and gets married. Everyone's like, what? The Annihilator is settling down. Spoiler alert, she wasn't. Here's where it gets really crazy. Liza, newly pregnant, gets tasked with this insane mission to the 4th layer to retrieve the unheard bell. It's like the worst timing ever, right? But Liza's like, hold my pickaxe. I got this. This mission is pure chaos. They're fighting off rival Delvers left and right. It's like an action movie, but with more tentacles and cosmic horrors. And then tragedy strikes. Talker dies during the mission. But does Liza give up? Heck no! In the depths of the 4th layer, surrounded by danger and probably some really weird smells, Liza gives birth to Rico. But because this is made in Abyss and nothing can ever be simple, Rico is stillborn. It's only thanks to the cursed warding box and Ozin's quick thinking that baby Rico comes back to life. Talk about a dramatic entrance. After all this, Liza goes back to the surface, raises Rico for a bit, and then decides, you know what, I'm not done with the Abyss yet. When Rico's just 2 years old, Liza embarks on her last dive, a journey to the bottom of the Abyss that she hasn't returned from. And that, my friends, is where our story begins. Liza's disappearance is the mystery that kicks off Rico's whole adventure. It's like Liza dropping the ultimate adventure hook for her daughter. This woman is a delving prodigy. It's like she took one look at the Abyss and said, challenge accepted. Where other delvers see impossible obstacles, Liza sees Tuesday. But Liza isn't just good at exploring. She's a one-woman army. They call her an Annihilator for a reason. Folks, she's just got a reputation for defeating foreign delvers on 12 separate occasions. 12. That's not even counting the countless Abyss creatures she's taken down. It's like she's playing a real-life version of Monster Hunter, and she's got the high score. Her weapon of choice? The Blaze Reap. This bad boy is a pickaxe that doubles as an explosive device. Because why just mine when you can mine and blow stuff up at the same time, right? It's got this thing called Everlasting Gunpowder, which sounds just about as safe as juggling ore piercers. But in Liza's hands, it's a sympathy of destruction. But Liza's not all born. She's got a mind sharper than her pickaxe. Her notes about the Abyss are incredibly detailed, covering everything from the monster biologies to the best recipes for Abyss cuisine. It's like she's writing the ultimate Abyss survival guide. And let's not forget her incredible resilience. This is a woman who delved into the Abyss while pregnant, faced the death of her husband, and kept on going. She's got the kind of mental fortitude that would make a strong man competitor jealous. Liza's got this almost supernatural intuition for the Abyss. It's like she can sense its dangers and its wonders on a level other delvers can only dream of. Maybe it's experience, maybe it's talent, or maybe the Abyss just likes her. Who knows? All these abilities make Liza a force to be reckoned with. She's like the Abyss's final boss, except she's on our side. Kind of. Maybe. We hope. So, where does the Annihilator fit into the grand scheme of things in Made in Abyss? Well, first off, she's the whole reason our story kicks off. Liza's disappearance is what sends Rico on her grand adventure. It's like Liza left a trail of breadcrumbs made of white whistles and mysterious messages, and Rico's following it straight into the Abyss. Even though she's physically absent for most of the story, Liza's presence looms large over everything. She's like the Abyss's version of Bigfoot. Everything's heard of her. Some claim to have seen her, but the truth remains a mystery. Liza's notes, left behind after her last dive, are a goldmine of information about the deeper layers of the Abyss. It's like she wrote the ultimate cheat code for the Abyss survival, and now Rico's trying to use it to speedrun her way to the bottom. But more than that, Liza represents the ultimate goal for delvers. She's proof that you can dive deep, uncover incredible secrets, and maybe even make it back in one piece. The jury's still out on the last part. Is she really waiting at the bottom of the Abyss? If so, why? And if not, what happened to her? These mysteries keep us on the edge of our seats, dying to know more. Liza the Annihilator in all of her glory. She's the ultimate proof that in the world of Made in Abyss, you can be a loving mum, a fearless explorer, and a total badass all at the same time. Liza shows us the good, the bad, and the crazy of being a White Whistle. She's got the skills to pay the bills, the love to melt your heart, and the curiosity that might just get her killed. Savajo the Mysterious, also known as the Sovereign of Mystery. And let me tell you, this White Whistle lives up to the hype. In a world where we thought we had seen it all, Savajo comes along and flips the script. We're talking about an unconventional team, mind-bending knowledge, and a personality that'll keep you guessing. So let's jump in and see what makes Savajo tick. Trust me, by the end of this, your brain will be as twisted as an Eternal Fortune. Alright, let's talk about Savajo's appearance, because it's as mysterious as her title suggests. When we first saw Savajo, she was rocking this cape that covers pretty much everything. It's like she was cosplaying as the Grim Reaper or something, but the real showstopper was the mask. A Plague Doctor mask, but with 3 holes instead of 2. Creepy, right? It's like Savajo's playing peekaboo with the Abyss. This mask probably isn't just for show though. It probably helps her survive the nasty stuff the Abyss throws at her. Or maybe she just has some really bad Abyss allergies. Who knows? Now we do get a look at Savajo's hair. It has these weird Abyss swirls. It's like her hair is trying to become part of the Abyss itself. Talk about a bad hair day that never ends. Maybe she should go visit Liza's salon near the bottom of the Abyss. But here's the interesting part. Savajo's White Whistle is shaped like 4 wings. Yeah, how cool is that? It's like she's saying, yeah, I'm gonna soar through this Abyss like it's no big deal. Maybe she's compensating for the fact that flying through the Abyss is probably a terrible idea. And get this, Savajo's outfit is covered in whistles of all ranks. No one knows why. Maybe she's collecting them like Pokemon. Or maybe it's like a bizarre Abyss version of Boy Scout badges. Congratulations, you've earned your Survived Certain Death badge. And that's it. There is nothing else at all that stands out about her character design. Nothing at all. If you think Savajo's look is a trip, wait till you hear about her personality. So you'd think somebody called the Mysterious would be all doom and gloom, right? Wrong. Savajo's actually brash, impatient, and outgoing. It's like she's missed the memo on how to be mysterious. She's probably the type to spoil her own surprise party. Savajo's got this laser focus on the Abyss that's almost scary. She's comfy in places that would make other delvers wet their pants. It's like the Abyss is her cozy living room or something. But here's where it gets really weird. Savajo knows her stuff about the Abyss that even other White Whistles don't. We're talking deep, dark secrets that'll make your brain hurt. She knows about souls in the Abyss. Yeah, souls. It's like Savajo's got the cheat code to the universe or something. And don't even get me started on her team. Savajo leads this group called Hail Hex, and it includes these beings called Juzu. These are folks born as Nahetu in the Abyss. In other words, they shouldn't even exist. But Savajo's like, nah, they're cool. They're on my team. Talk about thinking outside the box. It's like she's running an Abyss version of the X-Men, but weirder. But instead of a bold psychic in a wheelchair, they've got Savajo in a Plague Doctor mask. Same energy though. Despite all the secrecy, Savajo can be surprisingly chatty about certain Abyss stuff. It's like she's got all these secrets, but can't wait to share some of them. Maybe she just needs a good listener. Or maybe she's just really bad at keeping secrets. Hey, you want to know about the fundamental nature of reality? No? Too bad. I'm telling you anyway. Oh, and get this. Savajo's got no problem throwing down if she needs to. Remember that confrontation with Bondrewd? Savajo was ready to rumble right then and there. It's like she's got 2 modes. Drop mind-bending knowledge and drop kicks. All in all, Savajo's personality is like the Abyss itself. Unpredictable, fascinating, and probably hazardous to your health if you get too close. But hey, that's what makes her so darn interesting. Let's dive into Savajo's backstory. Fair warning, it's about as clear as the water in the 5th layer. In other words, murky as heck, and just as mysterious as her name suggests. So, like all White Whistles, Savajo must have shown some serious skills to reach that rank. But the details? Yeah, we're gonna need an artifact that lets us see into the past for that. It's like Savajo popped into existence as a fully formed White Whistle. Poof! Instant legend. Here's where things get really interesting. Savajo and their merry band of misfits had a run-in with our favourite ethically challenged scientist, Bondrewd. Picture this, Savajo rolls up to Idofront, probably thinking, I'm just gonna use the altar. No big deal. But Bondrewd's like, not so fast, Mrs. Mysterious. Bondrewd tries to stall them with some bureaucratic nonsense, but Savageau's not having it. She's all, look, I've got places to be, curses to dodge, you know how it is. But then Bondrewd drops his bomb about how Savageau's team is made of Juzu, beings that shouldn't exist. Talk about workplace discrimination. Savageau's being the cool customer. She doesn't miss a beat. She's just like, yeah, and we're going down. Try and stop us. It's like watching the coolest kid in school stand up to the principal. You just know things are about to get wild. And wild they get. Savageau commands her team to take a release stance, which is Abyss talk for, it's about to go down. We don't know exactly what happened next, but given that Savageau made it past Bondrewd and into the 6th layer, we can assume it was pretty epic. Speaking of the 6th layer, that's where Savageau is now. Now let's talk about what makes Savageau a certified mystery in the world of Made in Abyss. First off, Savageau's got the delving skills to pay the bills. We're talking top tier, White Whistle level exploration abilities. She's made it to the 6th layer for crying out loud. That's like reaching the boss level in the world's most messed up video game. But Savageau's real superpower, that's got to be her big brain energy. This White Whistle knows things about the Abyss that will make other delvers' heads explode. Literally. Probably. Given how the Abyss works. Take her knowledge about souls, for example. Savageau's dropping truth bombs about how souls are like signals in the Abyss, playing all sorts of roles we don't even understand yet. It's like she's got the Abyss's user manual, and she's the only one who can read it. And let's not forget Savageau's leadership skills. She's running this team of Juzu, being born as Nahetse in the Abyss. That's like being the coach of a sports team, where all the players are from different planets, but Savageau makes it work. And apparently, Savageau knows a little something about the life reverberating stone, and lets her activate her team members. Kind of like how Rico can activate Reg. It's like they've got their own squad of transforming robot friends. Eat your heart out, Optimus Prime. We've also seen Savageau use something called a popple gun. No idea what it is exactly, but from what we can see so far, it seems quite deadly and slightly ridiculous. Who knows what else this thing might do. All these abilities make Savageau a force to be reckoned with. She's like the Abyss's own version of a superhero, if superheroes wore creepy masks and knew terrible secrets about the nature of reality. So where does our mysterious friend fit into the grand narrative of Made in Abyss? First off, Savageau represents a whole new approach to exploring the Abyss. While other White Whistles are all about brute force or scientific experimentation, Savageau's out here befriending Juzu and uncovering the Abyss's deepest secrets. It's like she's playing a different game entirely. Savageau also serves as this new front of information about the Abyss. Every time she opens her mouth, we learn something that makes us question everything we thought we knew. She is like the Abyss's personal Wikipedia, if Wikipedia could kick your butt and probably drive you nuts. Perhaps most importantly, Savageau and her team give us the glimpse into what might be possible in the deepest layers of the Abyss. If Savageau can lead a team of Juzu and make it work, what other impossible things might be waiting for us in the depths? Plus, let's be real, Savageau adds a whole new level of mystery to a story that's already full of them. And just when we think we're starting to understand the Abyss, in comes Savageau to flip the script. She's like, the Abyss's way of saying, you ain't seen nothing yet, kid. Savageau the Mysterious, in all her weird, wonderful glory. She is living proof that in the Abyss, things are never, ever what you'd expect. Savageau shows us that there's more than one way to tackle the Abyss. You don't need superhuman strength like Ozen, or a twisted mind like Bondrewd. Sometimes all you need is a different perspective, a willingness to embrace the strange and maybe a really cool team. As we keep digging into these White Whistles, Savageau stands out as the wild card. She's a reminder that in the Abyss, there's always more to discover, and the next big revelation might come from the most unexpected place or person or Juzu, or you get the idea. An old-timer delver so badass they can solo the 6th layer of the Abyss. Yeah, you heard that right, the 6th layer. The place where most delvers wouldn't dare to go, even in a group. This is Wakuna the Chosen, and trust me, they're about to redefine what you think is possible in the Abyss. It's like watching your grandpa outrun Usain Bolt while solving Rubik's Cube, blindfolded. And let me tell you, this White Whistle is one for the books. Rakuna's like that grandpa who still goes skydiving and makes you feel lazy for not getting off the couch. So grab your dentures and your white whistle, because we're about to be going diving deep into what we know about Rakuna the Chosen. Okay, let's talk about Rakuna's appearance, because it's as wild as their achievements. Rakuna's face is always hidden. They've got this cap and what looks like goggles covering most of their head. It's like they're cosplaying as a mysterious deep sea diver 24/7. But if you look closely, there's one eye visible through all that gear. Just one. Can you imagine how creepy that must be? It's like the abyss is staring back at you through Rakuna. And their white whistle is shaped like a dolphin or a whale. How cool is that? It's like Rakuna saying, yeah, I'm gonna swim through the sea of corpses like it's no big deal. Actually, he did do that. According to Bondrewd, Rakuna made his own way through the sea of corpses using his own personal artifact. That's bloody insane. Now let's talk about what might make Rakuna a strong delver in the world of Made in Abyss. First off, this geezer must have delving skills that would make even Ozen raise an eyebrow. We're talking top tier, white whistle level exploration abilities. They've made it to the 6th layer, solo. That's like beating a video game on the hardest difficulty with one hand tied behind your back. Rakuna's got some sort of personal relic they use for the 6th layer dive. We don't know what it does exactly, but it's got to be something special if it's helping Rakuna survive in the 6th layer. Considering that it let him go through the 5th layer, the Sea of Corpses, into the 6th layer, it might be like some sort of attack submarine. Plus, let's be real, Rakuna's whole Sovereign of Guidance title hints at some serious plot potential. Are they guiding others through the Abyss somehow? Or are they being guided by the Abyss itself? The possibilities are as endless as the Abyss is deep. And there you have it, folks. Although we don't know much at the moment, Rakuna the Chosen in all of their mysterious aging glory. They're living proof that in the Abyss, age ain't nothing but a number. And impossible is just a word for hasn't been done yet. As we continue our deep dive into the White Whistles, Rakuna stands out as the ultimate veteran, and probably the ultimate mystery at the moment. But hold on to your dentures, because we're not done yet. Next time, we're going to flip the script and look at the youngest White Whistle in the Abyss. Riko bursts out onto the scene like a ray of sunshine in the dark of the Abyss. She's proof that sometimes the biggest adventures come in the smallest packages. Grab your backpack and let's follow Riko on her journey from curious kid to the legendary White Whistle. Let's talk about Riko's appearance, because it's as unique as her story. No! First off, Riko's tiny, might get mistaken for a living doll tiny. But don't let her size fool you. This girl's got the presence that fills up the whole Abyss. She's like a pocket-sized powerhouse of determination. Riko's rocking this blonde hair that she used to wear in pigtails, giving her that adorable adventure vibe. But get this, she recently chopped it all off. Talk about dedication to the cause. Her most iconic accessory are those glasses. But these aren't your average specs. They're made from the special crystals that don't actually help her see better, but somehow stop her from getting headaches. Abyss magic? Probably. It's like she's got her own personal force field for her brain. Riko's got some battle scars that show she's not just playing around. There's a painful looking scar on her left arm from a close call with an orb piercer. And that little scar on her cheek, that's her souvenir from her first tango with the 5th layer curse. This girl's collecting scars like they're trading cards. And this girl just loves getting cursed by the Abyss. When she's delving, Riko suits up in this modified delver outfit. It's like she raided her mum's closet and made it her own. And as she goes deeper, she keeps adapting her gear. By the 5th layer, she's added this sweet green overcoat. Abyss fashion, Riko's got it covered. But the real showstopper is Riko's White Whistle. Riko's whistle is made from her friend Prushka. Yeah, you heard that right. Her whistle used to be a person. If that doesn't scream main character energy, I don't know what does. Now, if you think Riko's look is cool, said no one ever. Wait till you hear about her personality. This girl's got more energy than one of Bondrewd's cartridges. First off, Riko's curiosity is off the charts. She's like a walking, talking encyclopedia of Abyss knowledge. Give her a weird artifact or a creepy creature, and she'll probably know its life story, favorite food, and shoe size. It's like she swallowed a guidebook to the Abyss and washed it down with a gallon of caffeine. She's got this incredible ability to stay cool under pressure. when most kids her age would be crying for their mummies. Ruko's out here making split-second decisions that would make even seasoned delvers sweat. It's like she took a masterclass in keeping your cool while everything's trying to kill you 101. And let's talk about her enthusiasm. This girl could get excited about a Vok if you told her it came from the Abyss. Her energy is so infectious, she could probably convince a Crimson Splitjaw to become a vegetarian.
Hey, Mr. Splitjaw, have you considered a plant-based diet? The Eternal Fortunes are delicious this time of year.
But here's the really wild part. Ruko's got this amazing ability to connect with others. Humans, robot, fluffy bunny people, she makes friends with all of them. It's like she's got this superpower of turning everyone she meets into her new bestie. Of course, Ruko's not perfect. Sometimes her curiosity gets her into trouble faster than you can say, "Curse of the Abyss." And don't get me even started on her stubbornness. Once she sets her mind on something, not even an army of Ozen clones could stop her. Ruko's backstory is more wild than a Madoka Jack on a sugar rush. Little Ruko's story starts before she's even born. Her mum, the legendary Liza the Annihilator, is pregnant during this crazy mission to the 4th layer. Because nothing says responsible parenting like taking an unborn child on a death-defying adventure, right? Fast forward through some serious Abyss drama and baby Ruko is born in the depths of the 4th layer. But here's the kicker, she's born dead. Yeah, you heard that right. Dead as a doornail. But the Abyss isn't done with her yet. Thanks to this little big thing called the Curse Warding Box and probably some serious Abyss magic, little Ruko comes back to life. Talk about a dramatic entrance. She's like, "You thought a little thing like death could stop me? Please, I'm Abyss Jesus." After this miracle resurrection, Ruko's brought back to the town of Orth to be raised. Right on the edge of the Abyss, raised in the Balchera orphanage. It's like growing up next to the world's most deadliest amusement park. Fast forward a bit and 12-year-old Ruko is already an apprentice delver. She's out there exploring the first layer of the Abyss like it's her backyard, which I guess it kinda is. Then comes the big plot twist. Ruko finds out that her mum has been waiting at the bottom of the Abyss, or so she thinks. And just like that, our girl's on a mission. She teams up with Reg, a robot boy she found in the Abyss, you know, as you do, and sets off on an adventure of a lifetime. From there, it's a non-stop thrill ride through the new layers of the Abyss. New friends, terrifying enemies, life-threatening dangers. You name it, Ruko's faced it. And through it all, she keeps pushing forward, driven by her curiosity and her desire to find her mama. And the craziest part, somewhere along the way, this kid became a white whistle. Not just any white whistle, but the youngest one we've ever seen. It's like she looked at the Abyss and said, challenge accepted. Let's talk about what makes Ruko a little boss in the world of Made in Abyss. At first glance, you might think Ruko's out of her depth. I mean, she's not super strong like Ozen. She can't transfer her consciousness like Bondrewd. And she definitely can't annihilate things like her mum. Here's the thing, Ruko's got a whole different set of skills that make her a force to be reckoned with, or as much of a force as a 12-year-old child can get. First off, this girl's brain is like a supercomputer when it comes to Abyss knowledge. She's got more info stored up there than most libraries. Artifacts, creatures, survival techniques, you name it, Ruko knows it. But Ruko's real superpower? That's got to be her adaptability. This girl can adjust to new situations faster than you can say irredeemable. Whether it's figuring out how to deal with a new monster or finding creative uses for artifacts. Ruko's always thinking on her feet. It's like she's playing a game of Abyss chess, and she's always 5 moves ahead. And let's not forget her leadership skills. Despite being younger than most of her companions, Ruko's got this natural ability to inspire and coordinate. She's like a tiny drill sergeant, but instead of yelling, she uses her pure enthusiasm to get everyone moving. Ruko's got this weird connection to the Abyss that we don't fully understand yet. Maybe it's because she was born and reborn, or maybe the Abyss just likes her. Or maybe it's a bit of main character plot points. Either way, she seems to have an intuitive understanding of things that puzzle even experienced delvers. And we can't talk about Ruko's abilities without mentioning her cooking skills. This girl can make a gourmet meal out of Abyss creatures that would make most people run screaming. It's not just a neat party trick. In the Abyss, being able to safely eat local flora and fauna can be the difference between life and death. Perhaps Ruko's most important ability is her capacity for empathy and forming connections. Her openness and genuine interest in others allow her to make allies in the most unlikely places. In the abyss, where every danger lurks around every corner, having friends can be the ultimate survival skill. So where does our tiny and slightly annoying protagonist fit into the grand narrative of Made in Abyss? Well, first off, Riko's the heart and soul of the story. Her quest to find her mother is what kicks off this whole crazy adventure. She's like the Abyss's version of a snowball rolling down a hill, picking up friends and enemies and wild experiences as she goes. As a newcomer to the deeper layers of the Abyss, Riko also serves as our guide. Her wonder at new discoveries and her struggles with the harsh realities of the Abyss mirror our own emotions as we explore this strange and fascinating world. It's like we're right there with her, experiencing the Abyss firsthand. Riko's youth and inexperience also creates this awesome tension in the story. On one hand, we're amazed by her courage and determination. On the other hand, we're constantly worried about her safety. It's like watching a tightrope walker. You can't look away, but you're also kind of terrified. In the bigger picture, Riko represents the human drive for exploration and understanding. Her unwavering desire to reach the bottom of the Abyss, despite all the hardships and horrors she faces, is like a metaphor for humanity's insatiable curiosity. She's the embodiment of that voice in all of us that says, "I wonder what's over that next hill." And as the youngest White Whistle, Riko represents a new generation of delvers. Her unconventional path to this rank and her unique approach to exploring the Abyss suggests a potential shift in how the Abyss is understood and explored. It's like she's rewriting the rulebook of delving, one adventure at a time. From her dramatic birth in the depths of the Abyss to her current status as a legendary explorer, Riko's journey is nothing short of extraordinary. She shows us that in the world of Made in Abyss, it's not about how big you are or how many years you've got under your belt. It's about heart, determination, and maybe a little bit of that Abyss magic.
And there you have it, the legendary White Whistles of Made in Abyss. From Ozin's superhuman strength to Riko's unstoppable spirit, each of these explorers bring their own brand of crazy to the depths. Want to know exactly what kind of death trap these legends have been exploring? Click right here for our complete breakdown of every layer of the Abyss. From the deceptively peaceful edge of the Abyss, all the way down to the mysterious final maelstrom. We're diving deep into the unique horrors, curses, and creatures that make each layer its own special kind of terrifying. Trust me, after watching that, you'll understand why it takes a special kind of crazy to become a White Whistle in the first place.